to comment on Dave Elman. It's a pleasure. Dave Elman has corresponded with me over the years. Dave Elman undertook very graciously to teach me something about hypnosis. He offered to teach me something about psychiatry and medicine. I enjoyed reading those letters of proffered aid. I admit that I answered them in a come-on fashion because I was interested in lower fees. I couldn't really afford the big fee. And what did he really have to offer? And so Dave went all out in promising me this and that, and I had a very extensive correspondence. I understand that in Lecron's book on experimental hypnosis, you can find a variation of the Elman technique. It isn't unique to Dave Elman. It's a technique that's been used by stage hypnotists since I first got acquainted with them in 1923. When I was doing the psychological work, a stage hypnotist taught me Dave Elman's technique for hypnosis. He claims it's his own. It's a startle technique. It is a technique that eventually antagonizes patients. Are they resented? It's an inconsiderate technique. It's a bullying technique. I know a number of physicians who trained under Elman, then sought training elsewhere because they lost their patients, and who, after taking their training elsewhere, decided that that bullying technique is the wrong sort of technique. Take 3 deep breaths and go deep asleep. Dave Elman speaks about the sealing of patients, wherein you can seal your patient to you so that that patient cannot seek medical or dental help from any other doctor, but must return to you. It isn't said openly, but that's the implication. You can seal your patients to you permanently. 2 physicians who were ardent admirers of Dave Elman sealed, each of them sealed a patient for me at a gathering such as this, and challenged me to try to do anything with those patients. Well, of course, whenever you seal a patient, you're literally giving them post-hypnotic suggestions not to respond to anybody else. But you can't really seal a patient because that's contrary to the patient's own welfare, and the patient knows that. So on both of those sealed patients, I asked the 2 doctors who had sealed them to go on the far side of the room so they couldn't hear what I said, but so the rest of the group could. And I proceeded to unseal the patients, and then I sealed the patients so the doctors couldn't talk to their own patients. But you see, I did it in this way. I gave them a time-limited seal that they were willing to carry out for a certain length of time. And the patients didn't mind that. But they had given the patient an unlimited sealing against me. And that's in contradiction to the patient's welfare. I think Dave Elman has done hypnosis a tremendous amount of harm. I know that he has antagonized any number of medical societies and medical men. I know that he's antagonized dental societies and dentists. I know that he charges, when seminars on hypnosis, we were charging $150. Dave Elman was charging $250. I know that Dave Elman is charged as much as $300 and $350, whatever the traffic will bear. I do know that Dave Elman has bought up tapes from legitimate seminars and redictated the material and passed it off as his own material, very carefully changing the wording, and that he has told this to some friends of mine. I know that he uses my material, and I know that he has reworded it and re-emphasized it so it sounds like Dave Elman and not like Erikson. I'm still receiving literature from Dave Elman. I'm on his mailing list. He's taken me off it several times, but I managed to crawl back on. He offered to teach the American Academy of General Practice the general practice of medicine. He volunteered to give them general lectures on the general practice of medicine.